It's a beautiful morning. Hey, good morning, my bows and bow ties. It's Sunday morning. It's about 10:01. Our church starts at 10:15 for live streaming. But I just have a question for you. Ladies, do you guys want to find a husband? Let me play my intro. Hi there. So look, I'm going to try to get through this quickly because to my right, my son is cooking breakfast for us, and I've got kids that I've told upstairs to shut up. Anyway, so I'm going to try to run through this quickly because well, yeah. Look, ladies, some of you are out here looking for a husband, and I just need to understand one thing. Why are you going to men to tell you how to find a husband? I just want to know. I just inquiring minds want to know. So let me just say this, okay? Let me make this clear. I'm gonna. Where are all my little banners and situations here? These are just my opinions. We're gonna just start. We're just gonna jump right on into this. Number one, I need you to stop looking to men. Now, for those of you who may have seen this live stream yesterday, I am re-recording it because the video came out so bad. All right. I want you to listen to me. Stop looking to men. Stop asking men. Just stop it. Now, this may seem counterintuitive, but I want you to catch this for a minute. Men are not going to tell you how to find a husband. It's really that simple. The people who are in the market looking for husbands, you need to talk to people who've caught husbands. Men don't tell you how to find husbands. They don't. Hold on a second. I need to yell at my kids. I am back. So look, you are not going to go to a man to ask him how to find a husband. See, men are going to tell you the things that they like for them. They can tell you how to attract a man per se. They're going to tell you all the things that. Look, heterosexual men. Now I'm speaking for those who are in heterosexual relationships. I can't speak to relationships that are not heterosexual. Heterosexual men have no idea how to land a husband. They're not in the market for husbands. They're not. Many of them they're not even in the market for a wife, actually, but heterosexual men don't go looking for husbands. So why would you go asking a single dude? Look, why are you asking men about how to find a husband? They're going to tell you what they want, okay? They're not going to tell you how to actually catch a husband. So we need to stop with all the shenanigans. I'm going to go to the second point. I'm going to spend a little time on this. Of course, everybody does this as soon as I'm live. Look, number two, you've got women out here in these streets, going on these platforms, asking single, unmarried, and divorced dudes. Now, look, why is it that we will take their word as gospel? Since when are they the barometer? Since when have they passed the litmus test? These guys on these platforms that have been elevated to demigod status, if you notice, they're not really talking about how to catch a husband. They don't know how to catch a husband. Why would you ask a single man? Like I said, single men are going to look out for their vested interests. It's not that that's a bad thing. But why are you going to go to somebody who's unmarried? Why would you ask someone who's been divorced like 500 times on how to catch a husband? You need to go to the married woman. They're the ones who are going to tell you how to find a husband. They have experience in finding husbands. I just find it to be the most ridiculous thing how these women are putting themselves out there. And check this out. What makes it so interesting is when these women are out here doing this, looking thirsty and carrying on like they need like some extra water. They literally are out there like not interested in what the women have to say. And so, like I said, you get these men out here on these platforms gobbling it up, using women, for their platform. And let me just say this, listen, it doesn't mean they don't have good content. Okay. But what I'm saying is, you've got women out there literally going to single men, unmarried men, divorced men on how to find a husband. And they're getting their hee-haws at their expense, these men. I just find it to be interesting that we will spend that kind of time. Now, look, many of these men are not being intellectually honest because a lot of the times the things that they're talking about that they like or that they want, it's not flat out true. And when I say this, I'm saying it's a little tongue in cheek, but at the end of the day, men do just want to be respected. They want to be valued and all those things. But you got these women out here chasing they're going to these men for validation because they have the biggest voice right now. They have the biggest platforms. They're seeking validation from them. And I feel like this. Just because they have the loudest voice, you look, what's popular is not always right, and what is right is not always popular. Yet the quietest ones are not out here in these streets like that, right? You need to be talking to some married women to give you the real deal. Because half of these dudes, like, especially back in my theater finer younger days, right? These guys, they talk so much crap and they find the right one. Let me tell you something. A lot of that stuff that they're saying goes out the window. They sound ridiculous. Because see, a woman who knows what she's doing, that's this whole other video, they'll get through all that. Honey. Yes. Yes. Let me go to this third one real quick, and then I need to hurry up and get off this. These men are gaslighting chicks out here in these streets. Some good coffee. Let me tell you what they're doing. You've got these women going on these platforms. They're going on these platforms, looking thirsty as I don't know what. They are seeking information, right? I get it. And these men are running down all the things that they're doing wrong, all the things that they need to do. You've got, especially Black women, out here in these streets, desperate to try to figure this thing out. They are seeking counseling, which is still good. They're trying to get in the gym, which is great. They're doing all this self-care, which is great. But you don't hear about the men doing these things. Like, the men are not required to change. And let me just say, don't get me wrong, especially Black women, we got some mess about us that we need to fix, right? But I'm not here to dog out my sisters. We got enough people doing that out here, to include the men, dogging them out, disrespecting them on these platforms. They say they want a woman, but they don't really see women as women. They claim they want to rebuild the community, but they're not really interested in building the community. They're interested in building themselves. They want to dominate women. See, my thing is, let me just say, I want you to listen, ladies. An alpha man doesn't have to tell you he's an alpha. He just is. And I don't understand what this obsession is with this whole alpha man thing anyway. I mean, I have one, but what I'm saying to you is there is this unhealthy need to gain validation from a group of men who are not interested in doing the work themselves. They think the only thing they have to do is push a couple of push-ups and maybe make a couple of dollars. There's more to manhood than that. There's more to that. Let me tell you something. Women want all forms of security: sexual security, financial security, emotional security, physical security, spiritual security. They want all the securities. And I'm not saying that the men should be responsible for the happiness, but what I'm saying is we need to be careful about going on these platforms, trying to get information and validation from men who should not be the barometer of success. They haven't demonstrated that they can be in solid relationships. I can give you a pass on one, but when you start getting to 2 and 3 divorces, So now people are listening to these guys, and I'm like, wait a second. They are not going to tell you how to land a husband. What they're going to tell you is what it is that they want or what they like from a single man's perspective. You don't hear them talking about things like commitment to you and like how your submission is actually a gift. Now, I know a lot of women are triggered with submission, and that's a separate discussion. What I'm saying is there too much to whom much is given, much is required. And you got these men out here who want all this in a woman. They want them to submit, and yet they don't know what to do with it when they get that submission. What does it mean? Clearly, they don't understand. Yeah, you got these chicks out here signing up, taking courses and getting on these platforms, borrowing and pleading for acceptance. Oh, make me a better woman. And we should be interested in that. But yet there's no requirement for them, for these men to better themselves. They are sitting here on these platforms, yipping and yapping and yapping and yapping, and none of them don't even know how to, they don't even have a relationship that can really hold any water. I want to know how many of these men are married, sustained marriages, and not divorced, and not beating their wives behind the scenes. And I'm not saying that's everybody. I want to know what's going on with that. I want to know how many of these men, if these women were to come to them and be submissive and all these other things, can they take care of them? Can they do it? Listen to me, ladies. Ladies, stop looking to men on how to find a husband. If you want to find a husband, you talk to married women. Men are not in the market for finding husbands. So how can they tell you how to find a husband? Just like I am not in the market for finding a wife. So you shouldn't, so people shouldn't be coming to me on like, how can I find a wife? I don't know. I can tell you what women like. I can tell you what women want. I can't tell you how to find a wife. And there's nuance there. You need to catch that. So while these men are out here gaslighting you, telling you how bad of a person you are and everything that you're doing wrong, there's no requirement for them to change either. There's no requirement for them to step up. If they're not required to change, they won't change. You got women out here literally going to get themselves some counseling. It's a beautiful thing. They're trying any and everything, and I don't hear men putting in that same effort. So look, remember, they're saying, hey, women control access to sex and men control access to marriage. I know a lot of people like to push out the all the percentages and stuff like that. I'm like, but black women aren't the ones who like they can't solely be the responsibility. That's a two-way street. Remember, women want these securities, right? Are these men bringing and helping to secure the security, all the different securities? But they want you to submit. For a woman to submit, that is a gift. That is a gift. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do once she gives you the submission? See, let me tell you something. You better talk to women who are married who can tell you how to find a husband. And if somebody's looking for a wife, then what you need to do is talk to people who found wives. Stop with the shenanigans. I said what I said. Now look, you guys are allowed to be mad. And let me just throw this up here. And look, this may actually make me lose some subscribers. But if you like what I'm saying, I need you to go ahead and just like it. It just takes like a couple of nanoseconds to hit the like button. Hopefully you'll subscribe. I want to push out more content like this. I'm trying to figure out what is it that people actually really want to hear. Because I really don't want to talk about a whole lot of pop news, maybe on occasion. But if you like it, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, my kids are being loud. We're getting ready to start our online church because some of my kids are not vaccinated yet. So I need to get off so we can log in. And hallelujah. All right, until next time, Black Opinionated Woman out.